Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have swatches for you from the Shimmer box for April. If you don't know what Shimmer box is, it is a monthly nail polish box. It's not a subscription service, so if you want it each month you do have to keep purchasing it. But it is a monthly nail polish box consisting of 4 indie makers, 3 of which are consistent: Native War Paints, Tux Polish, and Colors by Llarowe. And every month they do have a 4th guest maker, and this month's maker we had the pleasure of working with Ever After Polish. This box will go on sale on March 30th. These retail for about $40 shipped, and you do get 4 full-size indie polishes. In the description box below, I will link all of the indie maker sites as well as their Instagram pages, as well as my Instagram page where you can see more swatches of everything from this month's box. I think that is the quickest Shimmer box intro that I've done, so I feel like I'm missing something. But let's go ahead and get started. So starting with Native War Paints, we have Cherry Blossoms, and this is a light pink base. It is a acrylic polish that has like red and pink and green glitter of a couple different sizes. So here's our first coat of Cherry Blossoms. This has a good formula. There's no running or pooling or anything like that. Acrylics like this do tend to be on the thicker side of the spectrum, but this actually has a really smooth acrylic formula that I think Native War Paints is really good at. Here's our second coat. I am going to go in for a third coat because I could still make up my nail line. Depending on your application and preference, 2 coats might be totally fine with you. There is plenty of glitter here to distract from any kind of visible nail line, but I am somebody who would notice it, so I am going to go ahead and do the third coat. You do get a ton of glitter out without having to do any kind of special things to the bottle like holding it upside down. So this is completely opaque in 3 coats. It does dry textured and dull, so you will want a nice glossy top coat. And removal of this is pretty difficult because those glitters do want to stick to your nails, so a peel off base coat is recommended. So there's 3 coats. Following up with Tux Polish, we have Let's Do Spring, and this is a turquoisey base with a strong blue shimmer, and then it does have a hollow micro glitter as well. Here's our first coat of Let's Do Spring. This also has a really nice formula, no running or pulling. It is again on the thicker side of the spectrum, but it's not terribly thick where it makes it difficult to work with. It is pretty sheer here on the first coat. It does take me 3 coats to build up completely, but again, depending on what you like, 2 coats might be totally fine for you. So here's our second coat, and it does build up really nicely, but again, it's just not fully opaque for me, so I am going to go ahead and do that third coat. I also didn't have any kind of staining with this one. These kind of bluey teal shades do tend to stain a lot of people though, so go ahead and keep that in mind, and if you're going to wear this, wear a base coat. So here's our third coat, and this does build up to complete opacity in 3 coats for me. It dries a little bit dull and a little bit textured, but it wasn't difficult to remove by any means. That shimmer does stand out really nicely against the base color as well. So there's 3 coats. Next up is the Colors by Llarowe shade, and this is called Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend, and this is a silver, not foil, a silver metallic shade, but it does have, if you can maybe see it, my camera's freaking out a little bit, a linear holographic to it. So here's our first coat of Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend. And this covers really well here on this first coat. I can still see my nail line a little bit, so I am going to go in for a second coat, but I don't think you would need more than 2 coats for this one. This also has a great formula, not too thick, not too thin, really easy to work with. So here's the second coat, and like I said, this does cover completely in 2 coats. This also dries down to like a sandy texture, so if you don't like that, you will want a nice glossy top coat, and it is a little bit difficult to remove. It just kind of makes a mess. So there is 2 coats. And then for our guest maker this month, we have Ever After's Singing in the Rain, and this is a periwinkle blue base, and it does have a strong blue shimmer, and it looks like it might have like a small silver holographic micro fleck in it. So here's our first coat of Singing in the Rain. And again, this has a nice formula, no running or pulling or anything like that, not too thick, not too thin. I do feel like the brush on this made it a little bit difficult to apply because it is so skinny and the formula is on the thicker side, so I did have to dip back into my brush, or into my bottle a couple of times. I don't think this is Ever After's standard brush though. So here's 2 coats, and this does cover completely in 2 coats. It does dry down a little bit dull, so you will want a nice glossy top coat. I also had no issues with removal here. It wasn't difficult. I didn't have to use pure acetone, anything of that nature, nor a peel-off base coat. But again, you will want a nice glossy top coat to make this shine and to smooth everything that's in it out. So there's 2 coats. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't super thrilled with this month's box. Like, I wasn't super inspired. They were beautiful by all means, but it's just, I think I've seen things from those brands before that I have that are very similar. So my favorite from this month was Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend from Colors by Llarowe. I can just appreciate a nice silver linear hollow, or a nice silver hollow. And this one has a beautiful shimmer to it that makes it a standout in my collection, so I thoroughly enjoy this one. And that is it. Let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of this month's box. Let me know if you plan on picking it up, and let me know what your favorite was. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you'd like to see more from me, and I will talk to you again next time.